Hi guys, Prisha here, welcome to my channel. Today's card is a dual pop-up shadow box card, which is a combination of a dual pop-up and a shadow box card, which probably you can tell by the name. So it's a shadow box and it opens up like that. It's worked very well and it's been made pretty well too, so I'm pretty excited to share this with you and I hope to get you inspired. So let's get started. So here's what we need. You need a large piece of 12 by 12, which is going to form your shadow box. For your front, you need a piece of 6 by 6 3/4. The mat for that will be 5 3/4 by 5 3/4, and the layer for that will be 5 1/2 by 5 1/2. And then you need 2 pieces of 1 1/2 by 6 3/4, and these will form your hinges. And then you need 2 pieces of 2 1/8 by 5 1/4, and these will be your doors. The mats for your doors will be 1 7/8 by 5, and you need 2 pieces of that. And then inside your doors you will need 2 mats of 2 1/8 by 5 1/4, and the layers for that will be 1 7/8 by 5. To go inside your box, you need a mat of 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 and a layer of 4 by 4. So this could be a whole piece. It doesn't need to be hollow in the middle. I just do this sometimes when I don't need a lot of weight in my card, and I cut the middle so that I can save it for another project. And then you need 2 pieces of 1/2 by 5 1/2, and then you need 2 pieces of 1/2 by 4 1/4. Okay, so let's do some scoring. So we'll do the front first, the easy ones first, the hinges in the front. So your front piece, which is 6 by 6 3/4, along the 6 3/4 size, you want to score at 6. And then you just want to shift it just a little bit so that you can score another line right next to the 6 that you've just scored, but it shouldn't leave a distance. So you just want to increase the size of the score. And that's because we will be putting this as sort of a lid on the box, and the box will have thick edges, and if you don't have enough paper, then you will be short at the other end. And then on for your hinges, your 1/2 by 6 3/4 piece, you want to score at 3/4. And you want to fold and burnish that. So I've already done this piece. And you want to do it very well, so do it in every which way. So flip them around. And then this corner, you want to fold it and bring it to the other end. And then you put it back onto your scoreboard. And the fold that you've just made by hand, you're just going to score it. And now you can fold it better. So you really want to fold and burnish this very well because it's going to be your hinges. And you want it to open right. And if this is not done right, then your doors won't open properly. And once you've done one side, then you do the other one. And do exactly the same thing, just repeat the process. Okay, set that aside, and we can just burnish the first piece. All right, and now for our shadow box. So for the shadow box, you want to score at every 3/4 of an inch 4 times on each side. So you score at 3/4 and then 1/2, 2 1/4 and 3. You then flip it and do it again. So 3 1/4, sorry, 3/4, 1 1/2, 2 1/4, and 3. Flip it, and then again, 3/4, 1 1/2, 2 1/4, and 3. Okay, so just repeating it again. You're going to score at 3/4, 1 1/2, 2 1/4, and 3. Now, on one of your sides, you're going to score at 3 3/4, but just up until the second score line. And then you're going to score at 8 1/4, but just until the second score line. And now you flip it so that you are at the opposite end. So again, scoring at 3 3/4 up until the second score line, and then 8 1/4. Okay, Now once you've done that, you want to get your scissors and you want to cut off the corner pieces. So if I were to just make a mark, so if all the 4 corners, this, and the 2 at the bottom, and that's this over here. So those 2 and the opposite ends to them. So you don't have to make these marks because you already got your score lines. I am just doing this so that you can see exactly what I'm talking about. All right. Now, once you've done this, those 2 marks, those 2 scores that you did at 3 3/4 and 8 1/4, you want to cut that. So go past the first score line and the second score line, and then you want to cut diagonal to the end of the next score line. So you want that shape. And once you're done, this is the shape you need. This is what you should have. I'll get rid of the scoreboard. And now we can go ahead and fold and burnish everything. Alright, and these pieces that you just cut out, they can actually be used to die cut flowers and things. So you don't need to throw them away and it's not wasted. And now to make our box. Alright. So those ends that don't have these cut off, the complete ends, you're going to fold it at the second score line and you're going to apply glue to the end tab, and then you're just going to paste it like that. Yep. So apply glue. And then just fold it and just hold it in place. Then do the same for the opposite end. now for this one, again you're going to apply glue to this end, and then you'll also apply glue to a triangular shape onto the end of this panel, and then you're going to enclose that like this, so it forms that shape. So let's do that. Then you hold it in place for it to dry. And repeat the process for the other end. Alright, so once that's done, you're going to put your lid like this. So the 3/4 tab is going to go at the edge of the box and closing it, and it's going to open like this. So anything you need to stamp onto this needs to be done before you put this onto your box. And I was going to stamp something. So I was going to stamp this. And now I can paste it. While you're waiting for that to dry, we can just go ahead and put our mats and layers on for the front. So while waiting for everything to dry, we will keep putting on our mats and layers. Okay. So now we go ahead and put our hinges. So for the hinges, you want, so now that you have broken down the fibers by folding them every which way, you want to cut this part. So you want to cut off from the score line, that, and that. I've already done that one over there. And then you want it in this orientation. You want the longer pieces facing each other, so that when you put them on like this, your doors are going to go onto that. Okay, to paste it, you're going to fold this piece like this and butt it against the flap, apply a glue to the triangle and close it. And then you can open it, apply a glue to this end, and close it. Alright, then we put all of these tiny pieces that we have cut here. So alright, before I put the doors in, I'm gonna go and decorate the inside with all my flowers. All of these. So I'm gonna sort them out first. Alright, that's done. So I've gone in and completed my front, and I've stuck all my flowers in. I've got a butterfly in there as well, and all that's left now is the doors. So for the doors, you want to put glue on this tab. Just like that. And then on the inside you want to stick something in there as well. So I've got these, because otherwise you'll be able to see the two pieces. Okay, that's all done. So our Shadowbox card is ready, and I think it looks great. So you open it and you can see all the decoration in there and a little message, and I stuck that piece of die cut there. If you want to put acetate onto this, then before you put the hinges on, you're going to have to put that on, and then you may need to cover it with another layer of border. I didn't want to put acetate on this, but if you wish to do that, that's how you would do it. And that opens really well. Awesome. Yeah. So, thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something today, and I hope you got inspired. If you wish to see more of my designs, then do subscribe to me. And if you liked this particular video, then do hit the like button, and do leave a comment about if you enjoy watching my designs or not. Thank you so much. Until next time, bye.